While SEBI has given a very detailed guideline of what are the simple basic hygiene that one can follow, and I have split this into two components. One is as it relates to enterprises, and the second is as it relates to individuals. So this is what I would recommend one could look at from an enterprise perspective. In both scenarios of the case study that I spoke about, employee awareness is absolutely essential. The biggest malware is the human malware, because at the end, it is the gaps that we as individuals create in our systems by violating the process or lack of understanding or the naivete that creates a problem for us. SEBI has emphasized a lot on this, but regular security audits is very, very essential to ensuring that your hygiene stays up to date. If you are a corporate, please do not use corporate email IDs for personal usages. People tend to use it for your online portals, whether you are talking about travel portals or marriage portals or LinkedIn or a bunch of other places. If those portals get breached, the attacker will know the email ID format as well as your password format, and then it becomes relatively easier for them to go after your corporate infrastructure. Absolutely strong password policies are very essential. These have to be changed periodically, 45 days, 90 days, depending on the criticality of your industry. But the standard 123 admin, your name and birth date are not an acceptable password, very easy to guess and crack. Least privilege principle is a principle by which you ensure that employees in the organization have access to only those systems that they should have access to. Unfortunately, in India, access equals to power. If I am higher up in the organization, I need to have much more access than someone else, which means that if I get breached and if I have a disproportionate amount of access, I create that much more problem for the organization. Every piece of software that exists in your environment, A, better be original, by which I mean non-pirated, and second, they have to be updated regularly. Because a lot of attacks that happen is on outdated software, which then provide legitimate ways for someone to come into your environment. I spoke about the ransomware related issues, and one way you can choose not to pay or you can avoid paying ransom is you really have a very good data backup and recovery process, because then you are not bothered if your systems are encrypted, because you can always format it, restart it, and you have a backup of your data. You can easily come back. There are standard security technologies, whether on the network side or on the device side or on the cloud side. They will not burn a hole through your pocket. It is advisable to invest in the bare minimum, making it that much more difficult for attackers to come after you. We all use Wi-Fi very extensively, and I've seen Wi-Fi's in companies that are accessible for outside people that you give them access to, but they tend to get connected to the network. So it's very easy for me to come through that and breach your corporate environment. Third-party vendor risk is very, very high. A lot of technology that we use in companies is not built by us. Not only are these softwares not ours, but the softwares and the attached processes are run by third parties. And they then tend to interact with our systems or others are third-party systems. As they say in security, you are as good as your weakest link. So if your third party is a weakest link, then you have a problem sitting at your hand because they can go after you. After all of the above, you still have to assume that you will still be under attack, because the attacker has to succeed only once and you have to succeed every single time. So it's very important to have an incident response plan. We have to have a system and a process by which we say, in case of an incident, what will we do? Very, very essential to have a cyber insurance coverage, because the insurance may not make you whole, but for your recovery, if you need money and access to technology and access to specialists, without an adequate cyber insurance coverage, you are not going to. And the other thing that cyber insurance will do is that before giving insurance, they will do a hygiene check. Will also improve your overall hygiene posture because you have done that. Last but not the least, you have to work with the law enforcement. It is always advisable in case of an attack. You will report to SEBI and all of that. It is good to file an FIR depending on the kind of the attack, because the law enforcement again may or may not be able to help you, but it will generally create an awareness and a process that can prevent some other such attacks happening to your fellow citizens and companies. What role does AI or machine learning play in real-time threat detections in capital markets? So attackers, as I had mentioned, are already using AI to carry out attack. But on the defense side also, there is a lot of innovation that has happened from an AI perspective. So if you rewind back, original security products used to work on what was called as a rules-based engine. Simplistically put, it would say if an event A happened followed by an event B, then it equals to threat C, which meant that someone had to write all such potential permutations and combinations. With AI and machine learning, you can train your algorithms on varieties of such scenarios, allowing you to then automatically learn and understand what variations are coming in and how to respond to. So a lot of activity is happening on the detection side. Likewise, on the response side, once an attack is identified, a lot of automated remediations are happening. A lot is happening to ensure that frauds are detected much earlier by user behavior, patterns, analysis that you do. So a lot is happening using AI.